everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we'll be talking about boundary value problem. So let's see what is it. For that, let's look at this second order differential equation. So I'm considering this general case second order equation d2y by dx2 plus lambda, where lambda is some constant, right? F of xy is equals to 0, where what is this f of xy? That is a continuous function of x and y in some domain D of xy plane, and I am assuming 2 points now. So we are now assuming that our domain is of such kind, this is our domain, right, such that we know 2 points in it. This is a 2D version I am talking about, x and y. Here we would require more conditions, but if I talk about linear case, that means one dimensional case, so there we have these 2 points, 1 and second. So this is your first boundary, this is your second boundary. Here also you have this as your first boundary, this is as your second boundary. So here if we take 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2, these need some 2 points in our domain D, then the boundary value problem, what would it be? It is to find the solution, let's call that solution by the term phi, of this particular differential equation, right, which is defined in the interval. That means we are taking the 1D case, one dimensional case. Interval is given to us starting from x1 up to x2, all the values containing it, such that it now satisfies the boundary conditions. Now this is important here, which is phi of x1 is equals to y1. That means our solution at the point x1 would be y1 and our solution phi at the point x2 would be y2, right? So in short, how do we write it in terms of notation? So this is a differential equation which we usually call it to be the governing equation, right? d2y by dx2 plus lambda times our function, that is equals to 0, with supplementary conditions which are now known as the boundary conditions, right? So at the boundary, the values of the function phi at the point x1 is y1 and phi at the point x2 is equals to y2, where phi represents what? The solution to the given differential equation, right? So that means now we have two constraints, and the differential equation together with these boundary conditions specified at 2 or more points on the boundary, that is known as a boundary value problem. So practically, where do we encounter these kind of boundary value problems? So in fact, you see, we have these boundary value problems in many areas. Like whenever we solve various physical problems like heat transfer on a rod, fluid dynamics problems on wave propagation, and mainly in research, you'll encounter these kind of boundary value problems, right? And there are more difficult ones also which do not have a solution at all, or some might be solvable. So that depends on the situation that we are talking about. Now if we talk about particularly these boundary conditions, now if we specifically know the value of the function at specific points, then we call that differential the conditions to be as Dirichlet boundary condition. Whereas if the conditions are given at for its derivatives, the boundary conditions are defined for its derivatives, right, the solution's derivatives or the function's derivative, then we call the boundary conditions to be as the Newman boundary conditions. And furthermore, if we have the value defined at some point together with some derivative involved, then we call those boundary condition as mixed boundary condition, which I have not mentioned over here. Mixed boundary conditions, right? So most of the common boundary value problems, they involve differential equations of order 2 or it may be higher, having conditions for set at 2 different points of the differential equation. So for 2 different points of the differential equation, we call those problems as 2-point problems, and the solution in those cases may be unique solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions. Now one may ponder that we have now started solving the differential equation, but how do we know the solution exists or not? one is just putting so much energy solving the differential equation, but later on you will get to know that the equation that the solution that you are looking for does not exist at all. So the answer to this question is given by the existence and uniqueness theorem, which will be the topic of our next video, right? We'll discuss in detail about this existence and uniqueness theorem. As of now, let's see one example of boundary value problem, which I have taken it from the real case of heat conduction. Fine. So I am taking a very simple case in which the problem is one dimensional only, steady state, that means no involvement of time is there, right? There are no changes occurring with the time, right? And we are taking a flat wall having constant thermal conductivity. That means this is also very simple. The thermal conductivity is represented by K, right? And no internal heat generation within the wall is taken. So I have taken the most simplest of the cases. So this boundary value problem, what will it tell us? It will tell us how the temperature varies across a material when its outer boundaries, they are held at fixed temperature, right? So that means we have defined the temperature at this much point, it is fixed, and we have defined it at this point, this is also fixed. So that means what kind of boundary conditions we are taking? We are taking Dirichlet kind of boundary conditions, right? So our problem now is the differential equation is d2t upon dx2 is equals to 0. X represents your one dimensional movement along horizontal direction, and what is this t? This t represents temperature, capital T represents temperature, which we are going to study across this particular wall, right? The first boundary condition is at the left wall, which tell you that at the point when x is 0, the value of temperature is T1, it is fixed, so therefore it is Dirichlet. And at the right wall, the temperature at the point L, when the value of x is L, the temperature is T2, right? This is your problem. Now how do we solve it, and what is its solution? So for solving it, the first step is to integrate this differential equation. We'll simply get the solution by integrating it twice with respect to x. So you see, this is your solution. Tx is equals to c1x plus c2, where what are these c1 and c2? They are the constants of integration. That is very simple, right? Now we apply the first boundary condition onto it. What was it? T at the point 0 is T1. So let's put the value of x is equals to 0 and the value of t of 0, that is equals to T1. So in place of t of 0, I have written here T1. In place of x, I have written 0 here. So the value of C2 came out to be T1. Now applying the second boundary condition, so that means what was it? T of L is equals to T2, right? Now in place of x, I am writing L. In place of t, I am writing T2, and we also know the value of C2. Now we can put it over here, T1. So our equation becomes something like this. So from here we can evaluate the value of our constant C1, which came out to be equal to T2 minus T1 upon L. Right? So finally substituting both of these values C2 and C1 constant in our solution, this T of x is equals to C1x plus C2, what do we get here? We get our equation as T of x is equals to T1 plus T2 minus T1 upon L times x. Now what does it tell you if you look at this? This is simply the linear equation, right? Y is equals to mx plus c kind of, right? So this is the linear equation. So it tells you that the temperature across that wall drops linearly, right? When we are talking about thermal conduction, right? So this is how you get analysis about various physical problems by making a differential equation and then solving it and taking various information from that. So I hope you understood this boundary value problem, introduction to it. This is a wide concepts, but we'll not go in much detail here. In the next video we'll be talking about existence and uniqueness theorem. Well, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.